Lewis Hamilton has been involved every step of the way, from creating the original story with me to getting every detail of the cars, from what gear you're in to what it sounds like when you're on the back straight, and has just been invaluable in getting this right. Rather than having a stunt driver actually controlling the cars, in this film, Brad and Damson are driving the cars by themselves. These are not special effects rigs. These aren't movie cars that are made to look like real race cars. These are race cars from the start that we developed, working hand in hand with AMG Mercedes, their designers and engineers, to build a race car specifically for making this movie. Lewis said to me, I've never seen a film that captures the experience of being in the car. So that was the goal. Just because of how we shot it, the fact it shot for real, Brad and Damson trained for months to be able to drive these cars. I think audiences are going to get a perspective of what it's like to be in one of these machines. It's the sound, it's what you're seeing, the feeling. The speed was the most important thing. These both of them are traveling, at ridiculous speeds around these tracks, and we used every tool we could to capture that. So you're going to see, camera angles and points of view that you've never seen before. I think we were able to capture something you can't even get from the broadcast of watching a real race. I mean, we're able to put cameras in places the broadcast can't. We're shooting with real film quality cameras that just give you a different experience from what you're used to seeing on TV. So when it's all said and done, I hope audiences get at least a fraction of what Lewis is experiencing when he's in a Grand Prix. One of the themes of this film is about teamwork, and you can't, a Formula One driver can't win a race by themselves. You need that support system behind you. I mean, there are literally thousands of people that work and build and design these cars, set them up. You've got, dozens of engineers on race day, monitoring every system. So this film, it's really about the team bringing a group of people together to do the impossible, which is try to win a Formula One race against, the titans of the sport. You've got Apex GP going against Ferrari and Mercedes and McLaren. These are legendary names, and there's a reason why they are the titans of the sport. So, for Apex GP, they really are, it's an underdog story. And Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce, they have to find a way to work together, and that's kind of the struggle at the heart of the film. You just can't fake what we were trying to capture. There's just no way that you can do it. You can't do it on a sound stage, and I don't think you can do it even if you build a race car with a stunt driver that was driving it for them. What you're going to see in this film is not only the physical effects, but you're going to see the intense concentration in their eyes. They are acting, when you see them driving, in that they're playing a character, but they're kind of not acting because they're really driving. And that's, again, something you just can't fake. The concentration, the exertion is all right there on the screen. And, after, a few hours of filming, they'd both be wiped out. There's only so much shooting you could do every day because it is so physically grueling to do it. There's no way we could have made this film without the tight partnership with Formula One. I mean, without the access we had, there's no way we could have pulled these scenes off. And the access they gave us was more than I could have ever dreamed of. I mean, we had a garage for Apex GP between Ferrari and Mercedes during the Silverstone Grand Prix. We had a garage in Abu Dhabi as well, and we were functioning just like another Formula One team during these races, doing pit stops, racing between sessions. We invited all the other teams to come visit us, on set, and I think they were all impressed with just how realistic our garage was. When you make a movie like this that's so immersive, it's fun to watch how the cast can kind of become their characters and they start acting like a real, in this case, a real Formula One team. We're traveling around the world together, going to all these races, shooting on the pit wall during real races, and it is like we became a real team. And so there's that camaraderie that's built behind the scenes. It starts to, you can feel it on screen as well, and it just makes them all feel very naturally connected. And from a director, I think that's one of the most gratifying things, is to see those friendships form off screen and see how that's reflected on screen. And yeah, this movie took 18 months to film, and we built some really strong friendships and connections over the course of that. And I think you'll see that on screen. Brad is, he's one of our, he's like a national treasure. He's an icon. And I wanted this character to be iconic as well. So for me, this is kind of like the character I always wanted to see Brad play. So to be able to get to do that with him and see what he brings to Sonny Hayes has been an incredible experience. It just feels like it's a role that's made for him, and he took it and made it into so much more. He's an icon for a reason. He works very hard. He's involved in every aspect of the filmmaking process. He's also a great producer, and working with him, you see why. He's, involved in every aspect of the script and putting the movie together, and has a very strong point of view and great taste, and is just great to work with, and always had a really strong sense of who Sonny Hayes was and what he wanted to bring to the character. And then on top of that all, he was just, again, a naturally talented driver.